lives ago. And it was a bad one. And I really enjoyed it, even if I were just a little tiny ant serial killer. You know, like I love killing ants, and I really did it with a horrible motivation. Buddhism would say because of that horrible motivation, it doesn't matter whether you're human or ant. If you have really malevolent motivation, you can collect great bad karma by killing little tiny little bugs. So say I went on a killing spree 10,000 lifetimes ago. Now it's so ingrained in me. I want to, you know, when I was a kid, I used to drown little caterpillars and then bring them back to life. It was like playing Dr. Marcus Welby and MD with little, you know, caterpillars. And how can the tendency to do things forces a tendency to you to be mentally, it's like being hooked on drugs. How does one pull oneself up out of that tendency? Because all your past karma is dictating the way in which you're even reacting to phenomena. So you can talk all this Buddhist stuff, and Geshe would say something like, go to your guru, put yourself at your guru's feet. You know, he would just say stuff like that. He'd be like, listen, just surrender totally to your teacher. You gotta, you know, he's the best help. You know, like when in those kind of like, you know, just short of having to do it on the debate ground, he would say, listen, you know, take a couple hours to figure that one out, but you know, just put yourself at your guru's feet. You know, they're of course somebody who's worthy to be respected and to study with. Arising, abiding, and ceasing do not exist, and therefore there are no composite things. Since composite things are utterly non-existent, how could anything non-composite exist? And here they're talking about composite phenomena, and composite phenomena generally begin, hang around, and end. They arise, they endure, and they cease. And he uses this pretty much the same analysis he uses the car. You know, this commentator, Kempo Tsukumi used the car. The previous analogy I said about the car as being a dependent arising. But arising, abiding, and ceasing are dependently originated. You would not know enduring without arising. You would not know ceasing without enduring. These phenomena are dependently originated. And of course, the standard analysis due to sequence and simultaneity. Like a dream, I think this is going to be the last one, we'll be like, Red wants to kill me. And like a dream, like an illusion, like a city of Gandharvas, that's how birth and that's how living, that's how dying are taught to be. Gandharvas are these types of spirits that live in communities in the desert. And when they're sort of like in India, you see them from far away. Then when you get close, you realize they sort of dissolve, disappear. They're sort of like water moons, the moon reflecting on water. They're like the banana tree. They're like onions. They're like anything that blatantly is insubstantial. They're like what are those? Mirages. They're similar to mirages. And all Lord Buddha and the Master Nagarjuna is saying everything, arising, enduring, ceasing, all exist like that. All phenomena, death, life, these things exist in the same manner. If they weren't dependently originated, in the highest sense being dependent upon your mental perception of them, then there would be no way to escape death. There'd be no reason to practice religion. If death was self-existent, you might as well just pack up your spiritual practice and go home, because when you die, that's it. There's no heaven you're going to. When the body stops flopping, nothing ain't happening. Yeah, there are examples of empty forms and illusions, very similar to Temple Tothem Gyatso goes into. Well, they're like movies. They're like emails. They're like all digital phenomena. They're like in a movie, you take a kid to a movie, and the kid starts freaking out in a movie, and you're trying to explain to the kid that no, it's just a movie. That person isn't really getting yelled at, isn't really being hurt. It's just all play, And the kid says like, well, no, it's to a kid, to a very small child, it really appears that things in the movie are really happening. We have a dog at home, the lovely and multi-talented Cinnamon Girl. She's sort of a pit mutt mix, and we're hanging out in the brain room, the brain center of Tashi Lhunpo Monastery, and she starts to growl at her reflection in a piece of furniture, like a window pane. She thinks there's a dog out there, and by God, this dog looks just like her. And I don't know if she got that, but there's some kind of dog in there. She wasn't getting that it's just a reflection in glass. Similarly, we tend to see all phenomenon as if I'm looking at Matt right there, giving me that stare, and I think that he has inherent existence. There is definitely Mattness coming from his own side. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with my eyes are picking up bits and pieces of colors and shapes of Matt, and applying. I mean, there's big debates about where it ends and where is there clues that Matt is Matt 20% Matt or 100% Matt, from my side or from his side? Is there a little bit of Mattness that my mind clicks onto, kind of like Velcro, and then finds a mental image and sticks it to it? And that's some Buddhist schools believe that, and have different understandings of the self in that similar manner. That there is a form to a self, but it's just this ego that doesn't exist. But Master Nagarjuna is extreme Madhyamika Prasangika. There's a dependently originated perception forced on me by my karma that is forced to see a dependently originated base that ultimately is a bunch of parts that only exist due to my perceptions. Now, whether or not there is some essence to him outside independent is really a moot point if the only reason he exists for me is due to my mental image of Matt. Like, there's no point. It's sort of like some scientists talk about the Big Bang. They would say it's a moot point to figure out if there's anything before a Big Bang, because there was so little before a Big Bang, it's kind of a moot point to even talk about what was before the Big Bang. I don't know if I went off a little there, but so when a child's looking at a movie, they get really wrapped up, and they think that this person's going to die, get run over by a train and a railroad track, and the parent who knows that it's just a mere appearance, that it's just an empty form, that it's just a movie, it's not real people there, will calm down the child. So a lama is very similar to a person who is a parent of a child, to calm down beings. They call them, there's either pakpa or sosokyo. Sosokyo or pakpa, sosokyo or soso. They haven't had a direct perception of emptiness. There's two types of beings in the world. Beings who have had a direct perception of emptiness, who are Aryas or pakpa in Tibetan, Aryas in Sanskrit, not to be confused with Hitler's interpretation of what an Aryan was. And then there's sosokyewa, which are childs or chiba in Sanskrit. Children, the foolish. People who are ruled by this tendency to see things and themselves as having inherent existence. So a parent